Hey guys, this is Nathan and welcome back to TechNodeFirmaCraft. So, in the last episode we did some work on the wall, came up with this idea. Now, as you can see, I have removed the rest of the wall and I went into Creative and did a little more designing, and I think I've come up with a design that works even better than this. Because there are some blocks from carpenters that I totally forgot about. And that is, if we take a look here at carpenters, we have the wedge slopes. These are a much nicer looking block, and with the addition of 3 sticks we can double our carpenter's blocks. So I want to make up a few of those, and this design that I have will be utilizing a lot of the bricks that we just came up with. So let me grab this here. So we have the carpenter's blocks here already. I'm going to make a whole bunch more of those, and then we're going to remove this, move some things around, and go like this. So we'll make up some wedge slopes. That should be enough to get at least an idea of what I'm doing here. Now this wall design that I came up with is considerably taller than even this one. It's 2 blocks taller than this one, making it a full 3 blocks taller than what I had here originally. So I'm going to go over by the 3 blocks that this needs to go over to do this. So first we're going to be using the Dolomite bricks for the pillars. So I really like the look of these for pillars, and I know I've been getting a lot of suggestions, but I think they look really nice for that. Then we're going to use the Dolomite mud bricks for a 3x3 center section. So this is the first basic layout of the wall. Now I'm not using the stairs like I was here or anything like that, because I think this wall already will have enough depth to it. So for now I'm just going to put this here just to get up here. Then we are going to switch to the rhyolite. So the rhyolite bricks are going to go up here, and we're going to start using our wedge slopes. So actually I need to be down on the ground for this one, and we're going to put some upside down wedge slopes and cover them with rhyolite. And man, I just need more room on my hotbar. So now we're going to get back up on top of here again, and we're going to put more wedge slopes going the opposite direction this way. So we're getting close now. So now we put another Dolomite brick there, another carpenter's wedge slope, another Dolomite brick on that, and then we're going to run rhyolite bricks across here, another Dolomite brick, and then we're going to put a wedge slope on top of here. Now the reason for this is that we can change the... Where is my hammer? Uh-oh. I do not have my carpenter's hammer. But we can transform that block with the carpenter's hammer. So I need to figure out where I put that thing. I think it might be in one of these. No. Where did I put... There it is. Okay, and we'll grab these carpenter's blocks too. Why not? So we're getting close to the final design, but what we're going to do is change this wedge slope that's up here to be, well, I can't, it's a prism block, I believe. So we'll just right or left click this until we get this one. And then what we're going to do is put the Dolomite mud bricks as a cap block. Then we'll do the same thing over here just to finish this out. So we'll put another one of these, Dolomite brick on that. Whoops, let's remove that particular block. That is not right. Another Dolomite block there, and then I believe nope, that doesn't work. I was hoping that I could do that because we use durability on our carpenter's hammer when we do this. So I think I might be able to shift right click to make that happen quicker, but I'm not sure. But then we're still going to put the acacia fences here, and that is basically the completed wall. So, oh, I didn't make the jump. Darn it. But so you can see it's quite a bit taller than that one, but it has a lot going on without really having a lot going on. So I did tile a couple of these together to see what they look like tiled together, and it looks really nice. Now I have not yet figured out what I'm going to do with the tower here in the corner, but this is, I think, what I'm going to go with for the main portion of the wall. And I decided to try a little bit of experimentation doing this same type of thing for the seawall. So what I need to do is dig out this whole area here, and that was a chiseled block, so I'm not going to get that back. But we'll dig down to the water line, and then we're going to put the Dolomite bricks here. And actually this one is to be a wedge slope. My wedge slopes aren't there. We'll put the Dolomite brick there, and then another wedge slope on top of this, and let's try a shift right click. It looks like it still does the exact same thing. So unfortunately we are going to be using some durability on our hammer for that. But it is getting to be nighttime, so let's go ahead and sleep so that we can see. And then we'll take a look at this from out away from this a little bit. And I am hungry and thirsty. Come on, drink. Thank you. So let's go ahead and go over to this little itty-bitty island over here and take a look at what that pillar looks like now. And I think this really helps the appearance of the wall by having just a darker stripe there, and then we go with the slope instead of the stairs and putting the little point on top of the pillar. I think that really helps the appearance of that. Now it does kind of make the schist bricks underneath it out of place, and I don't know what I could use in their place. But let's take a look at what we've got from TerraFirmaCraft and see if there's any blocks that might fit the bill. So, not really seeing anything here. So let's go ahead and scroll down, take a look at some of our other blocks. Maybe the mud bricks would have something that would look good for that. Where are the mud bricks? I don't see. Okay, let's take a look at the mud bricks. So the mud bricks, the schist mud bricks, really I would prefer to keep those as a stone brick. I think the stone brick works better there. If we were to use mud brick, it just does not really fit in right. I just don't feel like that fits. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think of this. But I think what I'm going to do now is go ahead and go along the seawall here and replace all of the pillars with this Dolomite brick, put the little capstones on all of the pillars, and then I'm going to start with laying out the actual wall up here. So there is a lot of work to be done up here, and I'm not sure how I'm going to path the wall around or over this hill yet, and I still need to figure out what I'm doing with the terracing there as well. But we will come up with a different design from this because this does not really work for terracing. But yeah, I've got a lot of work to do, and hopefully it doesn't take me too long, but I will see you guys after I get that taken care of. Well, I thought there was a way to change what you had for carpenter's blocks, and you can do it by shift rolling the mouse wheel. So that allows me to change which particular item the carpenter's blocks are. So I don't have to waste durability on my carpenter's hammer. That is really nice. Now I'm just curious, can I do that with the stairs? No, I cannot do it with the stairs. How about regular blocks? Nope, just the slope blocks. Interesting. But yeah, this is really starting to look nice having this on here. We need to get out away from the base a little bit again. Now another thing about this is it makes the pillar blocks a little bit taller, so now mobs will no longer be able to climb over the pillars in the center. That was always an issue that I had before. but you can see that really helps the appearance of the base. So I'm really happy with that. But as you can see, a lot more work to be done. And I think I'm going to do the area here underneath where the tower is going to go as well. Now, I don't know, maybe I should time-lapse this. I just thought about that. I think this would be a neat thing to time-lapse. I'm not sure how, like I said, I'm not sure how the layout of the wall is going to be, but I think it would be something that would be neat to do. So, yeah, let's see if we can get a time-lapse going. So I hope you enjoyed the time lapse. If you did, be sure to leave a thumbs up and let me know. So I have a good portion of the curtain wall for the castle completed here now. So I did have to do some terraforming in this area to make it to where we didn't have a huge pit where the tower was going to end up. But we do have the open pit mine from the copper here, which, by the way, there's still some over here. And I need to get over there and mine that. That is rich tetrahedrite, and that is well worth mining. So eventually I may get that mined out, and then I'll just kind of fill this back in and terraform it. But we have a few spots where the wall is considerably taller because of the way that the terrain was. But I think it works. Looks nice, but it has taken a lot of resources to do it. So I am starting to run out of a few things. And I kind of feel like I need to go out and get some more of the Dolomite already. Mainly just the sand, but we are also getting really close with some of the stuff in the garden. I was noticing some of these onions, actually it looks like almost all of them are at 97 or 98% maturity. And then we have a few things over here that are getting really close too. The peppers are almost into the 90 range. We've got garlic in the 75s and carrots in the 80s. So we're getting really close with that. Now, one thing that I took a little bit of a break in the middle of building that curtain wall and headed down the path here to go and get some more sticks because I needed a lot of sticks for all those carpenter's blocks. So if we take a look at the map, we can see this area up here, I pretty well clean cut it, but I did replant all of the trees. Every time that I cut down a tree, I put a sapling back in its place, and I actually put quite a few more. But because of that, I kind of feel like I want to extend this path further up the lake, and a couple of spots like here where the lake kind of has a little inlet, I think I'm going to put just a little bridge across that instead. So there's going to be a little bit of building involved there. I haven't yet decided if I want to use a stone bridge or a wooden bridge, and that's something that I need to think about. And the stone, or the wood, we do have a lot of really nice looking woods here. We have a fair amount of oak, but we have a lot of maple. The pine looks pretty good too, but there are a few of them here that I could use for that. And I don't know, I might have to head back into creative again and see if I can come up with a design for a bridge, because pretty much whatever I come up with is what we're going to be using later on in other places too. So yeah, I think I'm going to probably work on that for a little bit, and bring it back in when I've got something to show you. Oh, I am missing a fence here. I better get that taken care of. Okay. That's a bit weird. Well, I have done quite a bit of work on that path going along the lake, and I now have a path that runs basically all the way up to the area where I've been cutting the trees. Now, if we look at the ores group here, I also found another spot of hematite up here. I don't know for sure what the quality of that is. I haven't been able to figure that out yet, but turns out this might have been a good idea to put this path up here if I've got another hematite ore mine up here. So we got a few other tetrahedrite and bismuth. So there's definitely a bunch of ores up in this area. There's also copper right here, right on the edge of the bend here. Now originally my plan was to put a bridge across here. Could not come up with a decent plan for a short length bridge. So unfortunately I don't have a bridge there. I just went ahead and curved around the backside of the hill there. But if we head out here, we'll take a look at what all of this is starting to look like. So got a few spots that I still need to do a lot of terraforming to, because they're just sheer cliffs where I have dug the dirt and stone away to make room for the path. This spot here is a perfect example of a place that's going to need to be terraformed. Now, right around the bend here, I already terraformed this area. I think it turned out really nice. This was a very steep cliff here, and this, you know, it was about as high as this, but based on what was behind it, it didn't really fit. But from that point on, I have not done any terraforming. Well, I guess I did a little bit to this corner. But as we go around here, we start to see some really tall cliffs. Right over here, they get extreme. Well, no, not that one. We got to go around the next curve. So right here, they get extremely tall. I actually can't reach high enough to break all of the stone with my pickaxe here. I have to actually have a couple of blocks to push me up. Now, the idea here is that I'm going to come out here just a little bit further, and there's this slightly lower area here, and this is where I'm going to come into the area that I've been cutting the trees with. And we're going to have to make ourselves a scoop from forestry and start picking up these beehives. But so that's where I'm at on this, definitely making some headway on that. But like I said, a lot of terraforming to do. And also I would like to put in a few trees back around the area, because I've had to cut a lot of them out in order to make room for the path. So yeah, I'm gonna be working on this off and on. Want to eventually have this path run basically all the way around the lake. I think that would be kind of neat. But as I've been working on this, of course, a lot of time has been passing in game, And we now have some crops in our garden that are ripe. So I know for a fact that the onions are, because they have been for a little while. So we can see the onions are mature. Corn is not too far along. I would imagine the grains aren't going to be too far. We're 75% on the tomatoes. The peppers are at 95%. Nice. Garlic at 85, carrots at 85. So yeah, we're going to have to start looking at preparing for harvest here really soon. I would kind of like to be able to have some pickling and not rely solely on the cellar. So yeah, the cellar is nice, but it's still not quite as good as pickling. So not sure how I want to go about doing that. But I think the next thing that I'm going to work on now is trying to figure out how I'm going to terrace down this hill, because that would be the next step for what's going on here. So I'm going to harvest the well, I guess I'll harvest the hemp too, but I'm going to harvest the onions and see how things are going with that, and then I'm going to take a look at doing some terracing. So hopefully I can get that done, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. So I have a fairly simple wall set up here. I have used pine logs in between as posts. I have andesite cobble on carpenter's blocks for the background, and that allows me to add glowstone to that later on when I actually get some glowstone. And then I have the sandy brick stairs for the top and bottom. And once again, those are made using the fitted sandy stone. Well, here, if we look at the recipe on these guys, that's not what I needed. So the recipe here, to make the fitted sandy stone, it's just any type of stone bricks around sand. And then to turn that into the bricks, we just take a chisel and a hammer with the brick or the block, and that makes the bricks. And then we can turn these into stairs with a chisel and a hammer and 6 of the brick blocks. We can also turn those straight into brick walls. So I have this currently, and we have the gaps between the posts, and I want to do something with that, but I don't want to have the standard TehNodeFirmaCraft fences here. So what I want to do is use the carpenter's blocks fences, and these have a couple of different patterns that we can use. They're very easy to make. They take 2 carpenter's blocks and 2 sticks for 4 of them, and I guess they actually call them a barrier. But so we'll make up half a stack of those. That'll be enough for a little bit. And then also I need to make sure that I grab my hammer when we go by. So let's grab our carpenter's hammer. And I'm just curious now, can I change what these look like? Nope, can't change those in the hotbar. So yeah, the wedge slopes are the only thing that allow that. But so if we put these down, they look like a standard fence without the posts every block. Now we can change that by left-clicking. So if we left-click on the fence, we can change it to where it has a post at every block, but it will disconnect from non-fence blocks. But what I want to do instead is change the pattern of the fence, and we are going to be using this pattern. So I can't change that. So this is what it's going to look like, and I have yet to decide what block I want to put on here. Now, one that I found that looks really good is concrete from Railcraft. Unfortunately, this is not exactly a cheap block because it takes rebar, and rebar is made in the rolling machine with either wrought iron or bronze. So I guess the bronze we could do fairly cheaply because we've got tons of copper in the area, but I don't have a lot of bronze available. I suppose for now we'll just make some up and see what it's going to look like. Now, another thing with this rolling machine, something that I had totally forgotten about, is the fact that we can place, let's see, these are bronze. So let's go ahead and grab 6 bronze ingots. So if we set the recipe up in here, it will show that we're making rebar. Okay, well, we can place items into a chest next to the rolling machine that will get sucked into the rolling machine. Now, in order to put ingots into the rolling machine, we need a hopper on the chest. So if we place a hopper on here, we can place our bronze ingots into this, and we will see that those got pulled into the rolling machine. So there is a little bit of rebar that will work. Then we need some raw stone. I don't know if we want to use marble. We have a whole bunch of raw schist over here. So we'll take that, and then we need 4 rebar and 5 schist for each one of these. So there's 16 concrete out of that 3 ingots of bronze. And now I'm hungry, of course. Where's my food? There's my food. So let's go ahead and grab a couple of sandwiches. Having trouble with misclicking right now. I don't know what is going on with that. And then we also need a little bit of water. So let's go up here and apply this concrete texture to this fence. So of course we can get that back later, but it makes a really nice look. It's quite nice and white. And so, yeah, we could have made a little bit whiter, but honestly, I think it looks pretty good. Now, if we do this one in between there, so that we can see what it looks like between the pillars. So that's what that looks like. Let's go ahead and place some... I wonder... Well, let's just go ahead and place some of these sandy bricks. That's not what I wanted to have happen. So we'll place these back here and just see what this looks like. Where did that one go? There it is. I always forget the carpenter's blocks do that. But so, yeah, that looks pretty nice. I might change what is back behind this, but I don't know what I'll change it to. Now, another thing that I've done here, I added a second layer to the wall. So it's now 2 thick through the entire thing, and the entire back edge is the rhyolite stone bricks. So I like the look of that, but I want to make it even 1 block thicker still. And so that's why I have started the terrace here. And then another thing that I noticed as I was cleaning this area off, this is the andesite cobblestone surrounded by rhyolite bricks. That looks really nice, and I will probably be using this in patterns for the courtyards in front of the main house. So we'll just kind of have to see how that goes. But I have a little bit more work to do here. This will be the first layer. I'm going to run it here, and then I'm going to run back this way, but I'm not going to go all the way back to the wall. And actually, I have decided I was going to leave this little pond in here, but I'm actually going to fill that in. So I have a lot of filling work to do and a lot of building to do. But yeah, I'm going to get to that, and I'll see how the episode is doing, and then I will be back. Well, I added a staircase here. This will be how I will go up and down from the layers of the terracing. And so, yeah, there's a couple of spots that it doesn't quite work out. We can see the sandy bricks through the corner there. Not really all that big of a deal, but yeah, Not real happy about that. I haven't decided what I'm going to do for the roads up here yet, but for now I have just placed dirt behind this. I'm going to let the grass spread out behind the terrace, and I'll just see what it looks like. Now, as far as the little capstones go, I wanted to try to put those on here with the wood texture, but these blocks don't apply to a carpenter's block, so that's kind of unfortunate. So that's where we're at right now, but we are out of time for today, so I'm going to say thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to give a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. If you have any thoughts about what I've been working on, or something that you'd like to see me work on, be sure to leave that down in the comments, and I will see you next time. Bye!